What up?
What up?
What up?
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all up in your ear holes and eye holes. It's us. We're here back with another episode. Episode 78. Damn.
We getting old. We getting old, y'all.
Yeah. Although we've come. It's been the high school song. Look, 78 in the place to be. You're with us. Thanks for hanging out and stopping in. See y'all checking in the comments. That's what's up. What up, Blaze? What up, Sean?
What up?
How y'all doing? I'm gonna switch that back up. I'm gonna be like, what up, Draven? What up, Chris? You know how I do it. I keep it.
What up?
This coin is always spinning. God damn it. Shout out to Dustin somewhere out in the ether. I heard he's been trying to get in the connection. He can't hook up. He's like JJ4, just always trying to hook it up, and it's just not happening.
Just not working.
It's not working out to his benefit.
Access to the intranets.
Yeah, right. And he's supposed to be like right at the Mecca too. So I don't know how that's possible. Nevertheless, we have a fun show for you. We got some topics, we got some news, and let's jump off into it. I know the topic master has a topic. Blaze usually checks out early. Who you call it? Whoever want to go. I'm up to talk about some shit. What we got?
Since it's the three of us, I'll bring up. So I remember back in the day, my high school band, the singer came in with this question. And I forget if we've talked about it before, but I know we got a lot of, other artists who tune into this and stuff. So
for sure.
When you were starting off with the big, dreams and everything, what was success to you? Was there like a marker? Was there something? Because it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like some people, I want to sell out Madison Square Garden. I want to sell a platinum record, or, I just want to get signed, or I just want to go on tour in regional. Like, so it's different. So when you were, maybe when you first got signed or your first tour, like what were your benchmarks? Because I remember for me, it was like, man, I want to not have to set up my own drums, and I don't want to have to drive myself. So when the first band, I got a drum tech, and I was in a tour bus. I was like, I'm good. This is it. I'm getting paid to play drums. I don't have to set up my own shit, and I don't have to drive, so I can have some beers after the show. I've done it.
I love that.
There. No, that's great.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I love that you had the foresight to see past that. I mean, I have to be seriously and honest with you. When we originally started, I don't believe, and I'm speaking for myself, I don't ever believe that I really even understood the idea of touring or leaving. Like we were in the thought process of you make a tape and you push the tape. And you try to figure out how to get established and get a name where you're at. And that was such a hard thing to do, that to fathom the idea of doing it in other cities and states and what have you, as you cover the globe, it was like, that was way, way out of anything I was even thinking. I was thinking, how are we going to have the coolest cover? And what are we going to talk about? Just like all these things, like, and what I thought was success, I don't know. I still say the same thing. To have, hey man, how are you? To have people, to be able to be heard. You know what I mean? To be able to that platform. But like each one of those things you said, I was laughing in my mind because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, each one of those things is a benchmark. It's a rung in the fucking ladder. You just want to be heard. Then you want to be seen. And then if you play a sold out show, then you want to play a bigger place. And then if you get on a tour, you want to be on a bigger tour. And then you want to be, everything you do, you should always aspire for more. I just think that sometimes that can be a problem too, because if you set your aspiration goals so high that they become unreachable, you get discouraged. And I think it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's my thing. Is like
way away from that, but
I
told you I was ready to talk.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing that it's like, everyone wants to, have a platinum record and sell out Madison Square Garden, but there's a lot of cool shit that happens on the way.
It really does.
And if you don't acknowledge or kind of shoot for A, B, and C, you may not get to Madison Square Garden, but maybe you're selling out House of Blues or something, or the cool venue in your town.
Like, that's absolutely.
Cool. And of course you want to keep driving, but I was like, I wonder what you guys had. Like, you just wanted to go on tour, or I want to play this venue, or I want to sell this. I want to, be on this radio station, or, were there anything like that?
I think it's what Madrox was saying a lot. Yeah, we didn't see past probably our city very often. And then when we did, we started we would take trips, like even when we were putting music inside record stores. It was like consignment style.
Doing consignments, man.
We were driving all the way out to Garden City. And Garden
that
City
was far
like,
for us.
It could have been like
lunch, bro.
Right, it could have been like forever. And it's a lunch break for most people to go driving out there and back.
For real, man. Now we just be like, go there and back.
It was a whole week that we would spend trying to go collect money because we would hit each place each day, as opposed to probably just going to one place all the way.
Well, because you had to pay for your flyers. You had to pay for your promotion. It's all part of a want. It's all part of a want to get to again, be heard.
There were different things, and we didn't, like I said, we weren't so sure about that. So I mean, that was kind of the beginning of it. You were just like, hey, I just want my stuff to be in stores. I want Sam Goody to carry it. I want, you know what I mean? I want
for sure. That's a good one. Let me say that one. That might be it. That might be it, Sean. Back in the days, there was a store in Michigan called Harmony House. And all my Michiganders and everybody, I guess maybe Midwest, I don't know. If you know about Harmony House, drop a record emoji in the comments or something. But on the real, if like that was the thing, that might have been a benchmark. It was on a shelf at we Harmony tried House. So hard.
You were a real artist.
Yeah, for real. We tried so very hard to get our product into something more than a mom and pop. Because a mom and pop, you could go in and you could do the consignment, but to get into a chain store, you had to have a distributor. So like we would try to get into these chain stores. And at the time, that was the, again, small mind, small perspective. You're looking inside. This is all you see. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly
and
what it was,
that was great. Right. I mean, there's lyrics.
If you were inside that store, then you knew that was the next step was like radio or people or
and
MTV
there's lyrics and
or
songs.
One of these things because people would actually see you as an established artist as opposed to just some guy that's just doing it for fun.
For sure. I was going to say, and there's lyrics and songs where it's actually referred to going in and buying your own product. So people will think that it's popular and order more.
And I remember doing the consignment game, like trying to, okay, fine, we'll take 5 of them. Like, okay, cool, I'll be back in a week and see if you sold any. Like, it was
for real. For real, no, and that's the thing. It's like it's the same thing. Or we'd be so excited that we get a product in the store, and this is the day before like the internet, and you would have a newsletter, and you'd like send it out and be like, "Yo, our products are available at this store." You try to direct people there, so that person would be like, "Hey, I need to up my order next time." It's like because again, that's the mission to try to get hurt. You know what I mean? Essentially, if that's what your end game is, that this is what you want to do, whether you want to be a fucking wrestler or whatever you want to be, you're gonna go in, you're gonna take bumps, you're going to take opportunities to be seen, to be known. People like that person right there, that human being is an amazing wrestler. I need them on my card. How would I know that unless you're out there moving and shaking and doing your thing? So that would probably be it though. Now that Blaze had said that, I want to say I'm going to change. I don't think I ever said anything specifically. I said all of those things, but that might have been it. That might have been it. Getting our product in a real chain store where you could be like, guess what? Let's go walk around this house. Hey, that's peculiar. How'd that get there? You know what I mean? And it's like when you get it and now your shit's in more stores, it kind of that specialness kind of fades away. You know what I mean? It's like now but you still want. You're like, how the fuck do we get in all these stores? You know what I mean? It's like there's always if you're really the same person on a different level, you still think the same shit. You just think with a larger mind. That's all. And I'm still that way. I'm like, we got it in a lot of chain stores. I'm like, how do we get them in all?
Playing shows begat touring in our aspect of what we did because first we would set up special shows and do these things first and see if people even wanted to, test the water, see if people wanted to come see us. And then it begat what touring was. And it was, it was 100%. So it was like,
for sure, man.
It was slow starting from there. But
Absolutely. What about, so then I was going to say, what about you, Dustin?
I just came into the end of this.
You did. That's okay, though.
I never started this trying to do any kind of music since a young age. I'd always wanted to be an actor,
right?
Mainly just because I'm
away from you, man.
Well, I was getting to that. Damn it, Blaze! I'd always wanted to be an actor because I was always goofy and I could do different characters and stuff. And then one year at a gathering, which I will not say which one it is because I don't want to date myself.
Oh, damn, we been there. I said Harmony House player. It's out the game. Go with be you, player. Don't be mad. Be you.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so it was gathering 2003, I believe, the first outdoor gathering. And one Mr. Blaze Your Dad homie had driven by me and my homie Corey, who were sitting on the side of the road, rolling up blunts, and I was like, "Hey, Blaze, you want to smoke a blunt?" And he was like, "No." He stopped, but he was like, "Hey, I gotta go to this party, this campsite up in the forest real quick, but I'll be back." And I was like, "All right." And we sat there for maybe 15 minutes, and sure enough, this motherfucker came right back and was like, stopped right by me, lit it up. He was like, "Ooh, this shit is good." I was like, "Yeah, man, I got it all the time. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. You ever come around here? I got you."
Baltimore. You heard.
And the rest was written. And
he's
the rest
a man of his word. He came back. Brother, where you get this from? God damn, that's good. Where you get that from? He immediately checked you in your facility, see who you was, what you do, what the fuck your name is.
Yes.
Quickly established all the stats about you, created a file card up here, and knew you was a good dude. I did the same.
And then he introduced me to y'all, and it was like, "Hey, this motherfucker got good weed." And y'all was like, "All right, we'll try him out." And then I had good weed, and it was Jake that would hit me up for Paul, and then you would come in every now and again. And it took to like the third time before you remembered me, but I remember the first time I met Paul was also with Blaze when I went to show him the weed. And
yeah, I be real skitterish around people because I don't know that people have genuine intentions. You don't just
we all know and love Paul.
No.
And it was in Baltimore, and we were playing, or you guys were playing at Rams Head Live. I know you guys remember this fucking
Rams.
Damn.
Hold on, wait a minute. Guys, I feel a disturbance in the force. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Hello,
I fucking hear Dustin yelling across the office. I'm like, what's going on?
It's just normal.
You know what's going on. You told me. We just lost 40 viewers because your afro came on.
Oh my goodness.
They're jealous. That's what it is.
I'm jealous. I need my full afro back.
Yeah.
Y'all looking, both of y'all looking hair-tastic. Let's just be blatantly honest about it.
Well, it's a Wednesday.
Sean, Chris, and I chose to go capped up for the episode.
This is true.
Anyway, so how are you, sir? If you're just joining us, we were talking about benchmarks in specifically in music, but how it applies to you in entertainment. Basically, what you do, you're around and with us, so you're just as much a part of us as we are. What are benchmarks to you? What were benchmarks? I said after physically talking it out with Chris, we came to the agreement that at our time, it was getting our music in Harmony House. That was like a chain store. That was a big fucking deal for us. That was like our first, holy shit. When we do that, we'll in our minds, we'll kind of feel real. And then you go from there, it runs up the ladder. What would your be? And then I got some news after that. We're going to segue into the next part. Kick.
I didn't want to cut Dustin off. Was he still doing his?
Oh shit! Kick. I don't know. I thought he was
Rams Head Live, and I got excited. I don't know.
No, we were talking about like the steps it came to get to where you were.
No, you said I set it up.
Blaze had introduced me.
He is a man of his word.
He had introduced me to Paul, who was the first one I met before I met Mr. James Persephone.
And he said, "Who the fuck is that?"
I swear to God, I walked in with James and Jake into the dressing room, right?
Who the fuck is that?
I walked in, and this motherfucker, it was Pickles. Pickles was in the fucking dressing room, just sitting there. And this was before times where you could just regularly get like internet on your phone. You didn't have that yet. You had things like so we go in there. And Chris and Jake put on the couch. Pickles is sitting at this fucking table, and Paul's in the bathroom, but I didn't know that yet. So they're sitting there looking at their phones, and I'm just standing around like, so just waiting to smoke or just waiting my turn out, trying not to be make waves or nothing. And Paul comes out the bathroom, looks me dead in my eye, like that. And I'm like, oh shit. So I look over at Blaze and Jake, and they're on their phone. So I just pull my phone out and I start playing with it like I don't even care. I kid you not. Probably 3 whole minutes elapse. I look up and it's still that. And he goes, "Dead am I. So who the fuck are you?" And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And I just started just rambling. I was like, "Oh, Blaze and they had," and then they finally spoke up, and they was like, "Oh yeah, that's my dude Dustin. He brought some good ass weed." And I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna wait for y'all out here." I just felt awkward, and I left. But come to find out, the next time I seen Paul, he was mad cool about it, and already had a nickname for me, which I still hold to today. So
there you go.
Boom. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Boom. That's the base. That's the base. Then he stepped up rung one and he kept climbing from there. He's still on that ladder. He's still on there right now. We on there with him. Come on, what it do, Mike? What's yours?
I don't know. There's like so many different ways you can look at it, like from different perspectives of our jobs and shit. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
In regards to Astro, when you started it, what were your goals? Now you're 5 years in. Did you meet them? Are there new ones?
I would say certain goals. Like one goal was all right, Kevin Eastman, right? That was a really big deal for us. Working with the WWE, those happened the same year, so that was pretty crazy to be like, oh shit, like Vince McMahon's $1 billion company and us, we can be on their level for a weekend. So those kinds of things, and like being able to secure guests that are like obscure. The first time the Clerks ever got back together was at Astro. Like that's a cool rung to climb. Corey Taylor, that's another one. I think my next one, honestly, is like Kevin Smith. Like if I'm like, hey, let's set a goal. My next 5-year goal would be like Kevin Smith's at Astronomicon.
That's the run. He looking up at runs up the way, man. That's what it do. And again, that was another thing I said, is that the people that want it still are the same people. It's just you have different perspectives. Mind you, you wouldn't have said Kevin Smith until you got, Eastman. You see what I'm saying? And it's like now that was another rung in your ladder. Now you're looking forward to bigger things because you're the same person. The want is still there. It's just to have a bigger perspective now. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that people are genuine in their want and to do what they do. Their passion, the passion.
And it's one thing for it to be validated, like to us, right? Like our group, the 5 of us here, for us to all pat ourselves on the back and be like, that's the shit, we did that, whatever. But for outsiders to tell me, like, in the last couple of months about our convention, like, you guys are a low end, top tier convention in Michigan. When we're in the same conversations as Grand Rapids or UmaCon, it's like, we've gotten to a point where it validates our work from an outsider's perspective.
Right. It's nice to know that it's not a situation where you have to suck your own dick. It's like you're actually getting accolades from other people who are like, hey, hats off. I see you. I see you shining.
It's better to have someone else suck your dick.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like people, we're the best and we do it all great and everything we do is amazing. It's like that. Okay. But it's nice to hear other people say that about you. You know what I mean? And it's not this is a paid advertisement. That guy's great. Like it's just something genuine. Like I really enjoy that person or their work or whatever the case may be. It speaks volumes. That's what I'm trying to say. Suck your own.
Yeah. I do.
Look, he's like, I just came back and you're telling me. No, I'm just playing. Damn. All right. So there was that. All right. Let's go to a piece of news for a second real quick. Let's talk about I'm going to do a news and then we'll flip the topic up. All right. That's cool with everybody. All right, let's talk about the Twisted Serial Killing Weekend, the old school oddity shows with special guests ABK and Boondocks going down Friday, March 4th in Newport, Kentucky at the Thompson House, Saturday, March 5th in Chicago, Illinois at Bottom Lounge, and Sunday, March 6th in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the Stash. Tickets and VIP packs are available now at twisted.com. pull up, represent the old school flavor, come rock the dead with me and a skinny kid, ABK the Warrior, and Boondocks the Scarecrow. You know how we do. We'll hope to see you there.
Isn't there a fourth one on there now? Is it what, Super Famous Fun Guys or something? Aren't they on them
Oh,
too?
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to them too. Yep. Pull up, man. I'm telling you, man, we doing it old school. We bringing the flavor.
There you go.
You right.
And there are VIP packs and everything available. Make sure you get on there. Check them out. They are limited.
MNEstore.com.
Yep. Go to, say it again?
MNEstore.com.
Okay, yeah, I said twisted.com, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
You can buy them both.
Twisted Shop. I'm sure they're all available there. Yeah, tickets, VIP packs, all the goodness.
How about one of these, Jamie?
What is this?
Oh,
yes, thank you. Look at that professionalism. Our production value just raised 10% right there. Welcome to the big leagues. I appreciate you guys greatly. So if you happen to live in that general vicinity and you ain't got nothing going on, why don't you come hang out with us and let's put it down for the old school, the way we used to do Once Upon a Wonder, and it's really fun because we've already done this before, so I know what to expect.
You're right.
Okay, why he keep popping? Who was that? Mike popped in and out. I was like, what the hell keeps happening?
He just
like
wanted to say
revolving door of fun. Okay, all right, kick off another topic. What do you have? I have a topic, but I'll wait for mine.
Dustin, you got anything?
Actually, I did. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared. I was down in the warehouse moving things around.
You said
today.
I wasn't prepared. All right, do you want my topic?
If only we did this regularly at an assigned day and time.
Shut up!
You walked into that. You
you're right. I did.
If you lob them in there, I'm going to knock them out. So,
man, amen. All right. So, what about Blaze? Blaze, you got something you want to kick?
All right. I seen some stuff on the intrawebs.
Okay, let's get it.
Wasn't sure if it was fully a TikTok thing or a Facebook thing or what's going on, but I seen it's kind of like it looks like a cereal challenge. And I wanted to see if you guys would be down on this thing. It looks kind of like they have a 5-gallon bucket, right?
Okay.
And I believe they fill up 3 gallons of it with cereal, and maybe the other 2 is milk. And that's what your challenge is, to actually sit down and eat this goddamn full bucket of cereal. Now,
didn't they say? All right.
Is there a time limit?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, the human body cannot ingest 2 gallons of milk. Like, that's just physically impossible. Plus cereal, you're just going to explode.
Yes. What he said, straight up.
That's where I was
right out of my mouth. That's all.
I'm trying to find
I can't speak for the cereal. I know the milk part for sure. What you said, for real.
I mean, what I'm asking y'all is this real, or is this just somebody trolling the shit out of everybody because they know exactly what you're saying right there?
I believe it's real.
This much and drink this much milk in one sitting, or even within probably a full day. Right.
Like, but there's probably some food eating challenge person who's going to do a catheter so they could just sit there and just constantly in one way and out the other. You know what I mean? The tactics on these people to win is they need the W so bad. I don't know. I know that there is in eating competitions. People, they stretch their stomach and they're able to intake a large volume of mass of foods, liquids. So do I think it's possible? Yeah. We definitely all agree that you can't have that much milk in your body, whatnot. But if there isn't a distinct time limit, it probably could be done. And then at the end, it would be rated on who did it the fastest. This person did it in 3 days. Well, that guy beat it. He did it in a day and a half. Well, I heard this one guy did it in 24 hours. Like, that's impossible.
They got a whole video of a time lapse. You can put this milk and cereal concoction.
Captain Crunch, the whole roof of his mouth was bloody.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. I mean, it was probably somebody probably faked a video of it, chopped it up, made it look like they did it, and now everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try it, dude."
I mean, it is possible though, but there is this there's this actual a channel. I mean, there's a channel on YouTube for everything, but I stumbled across a person. There's a few of these people that do this, but it's a guy, and he'll buy like all of the whatever cool snacks, the cool things, and he'll sit there and in one sitting, no edits, one time lapse video, he will just crush it all. Oh, these are the new Cakesters. There's 12 of these. Bam, 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 bam. This is the new Oreo Blitz cookies. Bam, 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 bam. This is a 12-pack of bam, bam. And you're like, You can't stop watching because you're like, there's no fucking fathomable way this is real. And it is. And he's part of an eating competitive challenge thing. And that's just them practicing.
You guys did something like
sick entertainment.
Didn't you guys do some like around the world foods box thing? Like I saw.
Yeah, we did.
Still going, ongoing.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, it was
funny.
super
I like
fun. It's like to know. I mean, obviously, to know that there are different in regional places around the globe. There's different flavors and different vibes that are cool, and like flavors of soda, food, and whatever, and things that we
get
have
to the
here.
Vegemite yet, mate?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Comes from a land down under.
Did you put it on toast and some butter and some Vegemite?
No way, man. Shout out to Kid Crusher, bro. We love you, but
like
no way on the Vegemite.
Vegemite is fucking awful.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. But it's just like, and I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm gonna say it. It's just like Skyline chili. Some people grew up with having cinnamon in their chili, and other people like me
don't like
it's fucking disgusting.
Don't like it.
But I don't hate because I know you like it because it's something that's a taste bud thing. You grow up with it, and that is your traditional. That's what you know.
Damn,
so if you grew up as a baby, if as a baby they went to Little Baby Blaze and they gave him a full finger worth of Vegemite on his little gums as a baby, and you were like, from day two,
it's the grossest thing. I would take Skyline chili over Vegemite every day.
Yeah, I remember being on tour in Europe years ago, and it was during the World Cup, and Lay's, I think it was Lay's, did this like flavors from around the world. So they had like bratwurst flavored and like just weird, all kinds of weird shit, like almost like full meals, like in a chip. So we had to try them all, and they were like 9 out of 10 of them were like, why did you put this into production? This is fucking gross. Like the novelty was cool, but like
you remember them? You remember the Mountain Dew Doritos I had?
Mountain Dew. I do.
I had them Mountain Dew Doritos. The Doritos.
And the Mountain Dew. Yeah, because hold on,
they were not good.
I think we said this before, and I'll keep saying it because I am one of the people. Like it's a figure 8 of craziness, but I'm in that, so I just have to call it what it is. But I think that the product companies know that people like me exist, and they're going to grab that, they're going to try it, they're going to talk about it, they're going to review it, they're going to make content about it, and they're like, so you're going to see more unicorn frappes and sprinkle Oreos and whatever the hell it may be, because why the not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like just what you said. You were like, they made 19 horrible, disgusting chips, and we bought them all. Of course you did. I would have too. I'd have been like, oh my god, they got sauerkraut flavor. Like what? Why?
And I'm sure had it not been back in the day, we would have done some fucking live stream of us trying them and blah, blah, blah. But it was back in the day. There was no internet in Europe yet.
And that's the thing. Yeah, for real, though.
Not for Americans.
Yeah. Not for Americans. Indeed.
We were in a village in Italy and they didn't have the internet.
That's insane. That's insane. It was different times then. I hear that it's a lot more technologically savvy these days.
They've done something.
Because when we were there a grip ago, it was crazy. Like the biggest pain in the ass, so to speak, was having outlets in all of your chargers, and it wasn't like, oh, I'll just run to the corner store and get a adapter. What? Never heard of that before. So you're like trying to fashion some shit together to,
a bunch of tin foil.
Right.
I just remember
there were some fun stories and some horror stories, but nevertheless, I bet you that now having it be more, futuristic and such, I'm sure it's cooler.
Well, I just remember my thing, like obviously when you're on tour, first thing in the morning, you're trying to find a bathroom. So getting off the bus, and I'd always ask the driver, how do you say bathroom today? Because loo, water closet, toilet, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to go in the gas station and get shit right off, first thing in the morning.
Pistol.
Yeah.
There's some asshole in the lobby that keeps repeating pisso. Can you tell him the bathroom is that way?
Necesito el piso, please.
They just make an ass of everybody. But we were lucky enough to have a tour bus with a piss hole in the back of it, and oh boy, it was like a toaster, and then they get that hot sun on the metal roof, and that urine would just bake. And the fly, you could cut them. It was thick like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. You just, these were the memories. All right.
Did you guys watch the new one? We'll transition to that. Did you watch the new one?
No, shout out to Miles. Miles gave me I follow him. He gave me a review. I thought it was amazing that what he said. I have to see it now. I've seen the stills. I thought everything looked great, but I just always have this feeling in me that it's gonna be not what it's like Hellraiser left a bad taste. The whole franchise from like after we stopped, like even the part 3 was even questionable. So anything north of that is just, and then they tried to redo it. So again, like that. So no, it is on my watch list. I'm slowly working my way through Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I'm always late.
That was good. I mean, like with Chainsaw Massacre, I thought it was good. Like I enjoyed it. You know, I'm not real snooty when it comes to movies. Like a lot of people put in a lot of work on it. There were some really good kills. Sure. I thought visually it looked good. The cinematography. And like any scary movie, there's that 1 or 2 points you're like, why the fuck didn't you just do this and it'd be done? You know, like
fair.
And so that always, throws you out of it a bit. But when you accept that the plot is there to entertain you and not to be sensical.
So you did see it.
Yeah.
So can I ask one spoiler-free question for those who didn't see it? Because I didn't see it, so I'm not trying to spoil it for me or for anyone else. But there was one question that I wanted to know for my continuity value before I sit down and enjoy it or take it all in, unpack it, whatever you want to call it. Is it the same Leatherface from before? Because I heard that it's supposed to be like the Myers deal. 20 years later, it's him. Yes. Yes.
Supposedly, this is like a direct sequel to the first one, and it kind of just starts its own timeline. So, like, there's the original, and the one of the main characters, which is not a spoiler, but the girl who survived the first one is involved in this.
She had broken out of a window of hell.
Yeah, and it's 30, 40 years later, basically. So with that, it raises some questions in your mind when you see it. You're like, I mean, age-wise, how old was Leatherface in the first one? I think that's kind of the big question. No one really knows. Like, you assume he's older because he just kind of looks bigger.
Yes, I would say. I mean, and I'm not saying the age of what would be Gunnar Hansen. So I would say, I don't know, man. I would assume character-wise, build, mannerisms, 38, 40, 40 so.
And that's where, if that is the case, then now, that puts him in like his 80s.
60? Oh, his 80s?
Well, I mean, it's like 40 years later.
Oh my God!
30,
maybe they're implying he was 20 then, because it's 60. Like they keep going with these graphics floating around because everybody questioned with Michael Myers. They were like, "I'm so sure he's 60," and they started posting these pictures of these like 60 to 65-year-old dudes that are fucking ripped and will beat the teeth out of you, and you're like, "Okay, I believe it." Like, because you picture everything. You picture some guy in a walker, frail, whatever. But no, these guys were like. Don't let the age fool you. So that idea I can kind of get behind. I liked it, the imagery. I was questioning the mask. It was kind of like when they did the television series of Scream, when they kind of changed the mask. I know you got to do something bold and different. So like I take all that shit kind of with a grain of salt. Like I get hurt in my feels because I want everything to be the same, but at the same time I want it to be different. So I'm kind of a internal hypocrite. But nevertheless,
I took it for what it was. I wanted to watch a scary movie. I got some popcorn, and it entertained me. There's a couple stupid lines, a couple massive plot, like what the fucks, but to be expected. You know what I mean? But it was gory as shit. It was bloody as shit. There were some really good kills. So it's fun. I'd watch it. It's worth watching.
Now that's okay. So that's two people with high regard for me that have given it a good definitely watch. If you guys have seen it and you think
I'm not
good.
Some horror movie hoity-toity snoot like
no, and that's good though. But I think that's
why do I feel that was directed at me?
Because
I think it was directed at me, to be honest, but that's okay. But I like that. And I can, and I feel the audience can respect that because yours is an outside opinion, which is more in some senses more genuine because you don't have emotional attachments. You're not mad because he wasn't using a P32 chainsaw instead of a 2-1. Oh, fuck off, dude! Like you're just looking for shit to cry about.
The mask is different, or he looks 6 inches taller. Like, what? Shut up. Just enjoy
and
it.
let everybody know that I know that a chainsaw is not called a P32, but I know that's how the people are when they're so with their anal with their details. It was a C7 model instead of a 2. Now, like, shut up, dude. Why does it matter? It's a fucking chainsaw. How about that's the one he grabbed in this cinematic universe? Like, oh god, the details and the bullshit. Sometimes it's very valid. If you change something dramatically, like there's a scene in like Halloween 4 or 5 where Michael Myers is like legitimately has a fucking peach mask with blonde hair. It's not Ben Tramer, I promise you. And you're hell yeah. And you're just like, who in the fuck approved this? Like, where is the editor? Fired. Yeah. He's like, we're gonna run on a list. Fired. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, sometimes shit like that, it does matter, but sometimes it's like that people look for shit. And sometimes in something that should just be like, take it for what it is, it's fucking awesome. And that's what
did you see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre yet? That's what we're talking about.
No, I did not. I was reading some things and I heard a lot of hate though on it. I don't see. I seen something.
See what I mean?
Always going to be
hate. A little bit of good, but they were saying there was a lot of hate going on. That's all.
I agree. No, I agree. That's what we were saying. We were talking about how like
look. Honestly, when I first clicked back on, I know me and Sean were talking about this about the Snake Eyes figure, and that's exactly what I was talking about. I thought you were talking about the color of Snake Eyes. He was bubbly blue. I don't know.
I'm pissed about this fucking blue.
No, that's because they're trying two things. One, they're trying to do the people who like the variant chasers. They're giving them that. And two, it's supposed to be based on the cinematic cartoon movie when he gets the radiation on him and he's traipsing through the woods and he meets the wolf, he meets Timber ultimately, who then this guy comes with a sleigh full of dogs. He's blind. He looks awesome as fuck. And he's got like this laser rifle. They put him in there and he nurses Snake Eyes back to health. I don't know who you are and where you come from, but this mask lets me know. And
I love you, Snake Eyes.
Beautiful, right? He looks him in his sweet eyes and kisses him back to health. And nevertheless, so like in that movie, he has this kind of a purpley blue, violet kind of bluey looking costume with a
little bit. Right.
So that they took that and that was like I don't know how they got to like royal blue. That was just over with the silver
accent. Powdered. It was like a powdered blue.
I know what you speak of. Yeah, maybe that's supposed to be the radiation version of him. I don't know, but I know there's a plethora of brand new G.I. Joe stuff from Super 7. So if you're into that, check that out. Hasbro Plus, or Hasbro Pulse rather, also has a good amount of shit on there. Always the new Tomax and Zaymont. You see those yet for the Cobra Island series or whatever? Man, they fucking look amazing. They actually made me be like, okay, I don't buy none of this new shit like that, but okay, I'm coming back. You keep bringing me back.
I'm getting back.
I'm coming back for the
just when I thought I was out.
Bringing me back. Bringing me back. All right.
Pulling me back
So let's go. Let's talk about Astronomicon right fast before we get any deeper into anything. All right. So we have Astronomicon 5 going down April 22nd to the 24th at Burton Manor in Livonia, Michigan. We have Damon Leone, David Howard Thornton, Sean X-Pac Walton, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Daniel Harris, Zach Galligan, PJ Soul, Scout Taylor Compton, Dirk Manning, Eric Stoll, Hansky, Paul Scholar, Bill Mosley, Jeff Daniel Phillips, Judge Reinhold, Peter Dante, Richard Bragg, Tyler Main, Nick Castle, and Corey motherfucking Taylor. Bang, bang, bang. If that star-studded lineup doesn't titillate your pop culture fantasy, I dare you to check and see if you have a pulse. Also, for the comic book fans, Joe Rubenstein will be in the house doing remark sketches and celebrating all things pop culture as well. For tickets, VIP packs, and pro photo ops, visit astronomicon.com. It don't stop there because we got the VIP party with performances by ABK, Boondocks, Buckshot, and the ROC. Okay. And that's the return to the Killer Karaoke too. And then We also got Twisted's Electric Lettuce Show with Blaze Your Dead Homie in Axe. That's Saturday, April 23rd. That is on site at Astro. You do not have to leave and go anywhere. If you got that, you in there, and that's free if you have the VIP. So if you purchase Astronomicon VIP, you automatically get into the Twisted Electric Lettuce Show, which is on site. You just go in there. If you don't have VIP, tickets will be available. But if you have VIP, you need not worry. You walk that very important ass right up in there and have a good fucking time, because that's how we riding. It's the pop culture event where pop culture lives and thrives. Astronomicon 5. Make sure you get your tickets, your VIP packages, your pro photo ops, and all that goodness. And god damn it, and me and the green kid up the way, up just above me right up here, me and the green kid, Astronomic Conversations coming soon. We're gonna be
got
breaking
3 episodes for you right now.
It's
looking
true.
for about 6 of them.
We understand that on RG Damn Pod, we like to keep y'all fresh. This the Cliff Notes. We just keep it quick with you, real brush, real quick, get you up to date, so you got enough water cooler conversation to talk about at work tomorrow. But if you want an in-depth, if you want an in-depth breakdown of who, of what, of where, and motherfucking why, make sure you tune into Astronomic Conversations with me and Dustin up there, and and get really brushed up. So then you can really know your shit and plan accordingly. So there's that. That was my news for the day. And now let's get back into a topic, unless y'all want to hear my little crazy thing I got.
Dustin, you got something?
I do. I got a couple of things. I got a picture for one, which isn't really just talking. But okay, so look, I was watching a show the other day, and it got me to thinking and doing research, such as I do. You know me, I'm a Googler, and I like to Google things. And so in the show, someone was dating someone else, and they had the same name of a serial killer.
Me being the jealous sot that I am.
And well, no, the dude had the name of a famous serial killer, and the woman was like, "Hey, so what do you think about changing your name, this and that?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I want to look up names." And apparently there is illegal names all across the world, but there are specific to different countries. And I have a little list of them here from the US, which I'm imagining they're illegal only because someone has tried to name someone that. So we will start at this list.
These are a list of illegal names.
Illegal names in the United States.
You got a picture of them?
Cannot
tell them.
I have it on my phone. I don't have it on the
I got you. I'm waiting here because how many? A lot?
No, there's like 10 on here. The first 2 are king and queen. I want to know why though. You cannot name anybody king or queen. You cannot name anybody Jesus Christ. You cannot name anybody Santa Claus. You cannot name anybody Majesty. You cannot name anybody Adolf Hitler.
That makes sense. That was my guess. I'm like, I know that's got to be on there.
You cannot name anybody Messiah. You cannot name anybody the numbers 1069. You cannot name yourself the ampersand symbol. And you cannot, like the @ symbol. It's called an ampersand.
Oh, okay.
But
ampersands. Who's ampersand?
And you can't call yourself.
I don't know that.
What I imagine is just 3, but it's like a Roman numeral 3 looking thing.
Okay.
So I imagine these are names people have tried to name themselves in the U.S. to where the U.S. was like, you know what? We're done with it. It's illegal.
I swear. I remember meeting someone named Majesty. So that's the only one that I question.
They could be from a different country.
Now I see your trickery. Okay. So then what?
Because
here's the real conversation. What if you have that name? What if you have that legal name in another country, but you fly to the States, you get there, now you got to you can't.
You have to change your name.
These other countries have different ones.
Because I don't know.
I find that accent mildly.
Well, I've asked for a friend because I don't know. I think that maybe it's possible that
I just thought that's what's working.
It gets better from there, though. When you talk about international names that are illegal,
you know what? I bet.
Because I also have a list of those, Jamie Madrox.
Pick them. Let me hear them just in case.
So
I have any aliases.
if the U.S. names, most of those U.S. names sounded like, okay, I can understand why most of those. So New Zealand,
Johnson.
You are not allowed to name yourself Chief Maximus in New Zealand. In Mexico, you are not allowed to name yourself RoboCop.
I mean, it has cop in it. I bet you could name yourself Robo.
In Saudi, this is funny. In Saudi Arabia, you are not allowed to be named Linda. Like, I feel like I was a sultan or something that got really mad at a bitch named Linda and was like, we're fucking done with the name Linda over here.
From the history book.
Wait, before you go any further, I just want to say one thing. Whoever she was, that's a bad bitch. That's a bad bitch to cut a motherfucker to his soul to make sure there is never another one of you ever again. Think about the complexity of that statement. I'm sorry. Moving on.
She left. She took the shelves out of the refrigerator. She was cold.
Right. He was
oh my god.
I will. You motherfucker. Never again.
There's actually an ongoing.
Don't ever know that hate. Never.
There's an ongoing theme here because from the great country of Morocco, you cannot be named Sarah.
Again. Another one. Watch out now.
From the great country of New Zealand, you cannot be named Sex Fruit.
I mean, why the fuck would you want to be named that though? Coming to the stage, Sex Fruit.
I don't even know how to show this one, but
Sex Fruit is really
good. From Sweden. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that string of letters right there, but you cannot be named that.
Wonder what that is.
Someone that tried to get named
Elon
that?
Musk is illegitimate love child.
I just hear Kyle Broflowski in my head. I'm going to try to reroute the encryptions. That's all I hear when I see that. It's like the data.
Oh my god. Motherfucking New Zealand is wild. I'm telling you, there's another New Zealand on here. You cannot be named Anal.
I mean, again,
Anal.
Who is going for these goals?
This is my son, Anal. This is his sister, Sex Fruit. And I am Chief Maximus. Welcome to our home.
The most wanted family in the world.
That was good. I can't even front out.
Let me see. Is there another New Zealand on here? Oh my gosh.
You and your whole family just got exiled right there. For real, dude.
But then there's different ones. Like when you go to Portugal, you cannot be named Tom. I wonder if that includes Thomas or Tommy.
I mean, I'm thinking anything with the root Tom in it is probably a no-go.
In France, you can't be named Nutella. It is illegal to be named Nutella.
Because you should not bear false witness to such a delicious treat.
You're fair enough.
What if you were a bitter person claiming that name? I will agree with that. That's the only one I will agree. And you should not be named peanut butter either, because that's a fallacy as well. You will never be.
That seems like some Gene Simmons copyright shit. Like, I'm going to just buy the name Nutella so everyone has to pay me royalty.
Right. But that's the thing. If that were the case, in a profiteering way, you would want everyone to be called that. They're saying if you're named this, you're fucking in trouble. This is illegal. So that's what makes me be like, that's deep. That is deep.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just found the last New Zealand one that I'm gonna end on, and this is ridiculous. New Zealand, you're fucking wild. It is illegal to name yourself Tallulah Does the Hula from Hawaii in New Zealand.
Guess what the next
Are we sure this is a credible
named?
source? This sounds really sus as hell right now.
That is Chief Maximus's wife. All right. Tula Does the Hula from Hawaii is Chief Maximus's wife.
If that's
and
not
she
the
bore
record name, I quit.
Holy
what? Lord.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
We have to find her. Tallulah.
We need, yeah.
Did you guys?
I need to, you set up those.
I want to find Tallulah.
Tallulah from what was it? Tallulah from Hula that liked to.
Tallulah with the hula from Hawaii. Tallulah who does the hula in Hawaii. I don't know. I don't know.
What about I would rather be named Cholula Mula than I would because I like Cholula.
It's like a wrestler's name or like a professional taco eating contest or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like it rhymes, but it's probably not a good one either. You probably would get in trouble with that too. So don't. So there's that. Do you have any other topics or any other things you want to discuss? I think we covered a lot.
We talked about. I just want to show this off because we talked about it. Well, we talked about the Mountain Dew chips, and I see Sean's next topic.
We can say
so.
No, do it.
Have you seen these though? Mountain Dew has come out with their own hard seltzers. They're only available in 3 states right now.
No,
you have to be named Chad to buy them.
Yes, I would love to try them.
You can only
I feel like I feel like that whole fucking White Claw people drink the whole. Everybody who loves those, that's the day drinking crowd. The day drinking crowd.
You got a White Claw there in the middle, so be careful. Be careful.
This is other companies' response to that. If you want a less alcoholic beverage that you could slow sip and day drink all along and not get too crocked, here it is. Here is our response to that.
The Mountain Dew seltzer is 5% alcohol, which is about the same as most common American domestic beers.
So we're talking. This is a straight up malt beverage.
It would be classified as a malt, I suppose. No, it's a hard seltzer, but
between a wine spritzer and
a malt, I think is over 12% in a malted beverage. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
We don't have to get into details. We get it, but I'm just saying. I mean, so it's not quite. I mean, obviously, it's not like drinking hard liquor, but it's in the neighborhood of beer. Whether it's a light beer, it's not non-alcoholic. We know that for damn sure. It's definitely alcoholic, and it would probably just determine on that's where people would be. Took down a whole 6er of that hard mountain. Like, you can't say that.
Regular, you can get it in regular Mountain Dew, watermelon, Baja Blast, and black cherry.
Now, where is Taco Bell at on that Baja Blast?
They need that, right? The adult Taco Bell, and you can come in there and get that Baja Blast, a hard seltzer.
And then you crack that boy and get your fucking Slurpee one.
The toilets in Taco Bell have never looked worse.
Oh God, are we serious right now?
Seltzers and bean burritos, chalupas.
That is usually 4 to 5%.
Chip is saying malt is usually between 4 to 8%.
Thank you, Chip.
Wait, he said it. Say it again. Say it again out loud in case nobody read it. Say it again.
Chip Bannon says malt is usually between 4% and 8% ABV and typically gross. I think that the last part is his opinion. I don't think
his opinion about yeah. But so what does that mean? It would so like
this ties into my pick'em.
Okay, to get it, let's get it. Ooh, you can only go all right.
There can only be one. Man, I got 2 off the top, and I have my reasons for them. But I'll let someone else go first if they want to.
Shit. Okay, been there, done that. Let's start there. Okay. Am I going first?
Remember the nights that you drank them? That's the question.
Who wants to go first? Because I got it.
All right. You can. There can only be one. You got it.
There can only be one.
No, shoot. Go ahead.
Well, I just have explanation as to why it's my one.
Okay. Let me hear it.
I mean, mine would be Old English off the bat. But if we're being real with it, my go-to, like in college and shit, my trick, I always bought the tall cans of Steel Reserve. And I'd put a 6-pack in the fridge because I knew if anyone else was in that party with Steel Reserve, they took my fucking beer. Your Bud Light, Natty Light, those are floating around. You can steal those all day. But if anyone else had that fucking drink, I knew they stole my beer and I was pissed. Wow. So that was my trick.
That's your pregame. No, I like that. I like that creativity.
Colt 45 will have you just swinging. That explains a lot about you, Sean.
Indeed.
Just mad at the world.
Indeed.
There were a lot of fights
go ahead,
on that Steel Reserve.
First off, I mean, I think we can all agree that that Cobra can go shove itself up its own ass.
Yeah.
Mickey's in a pinch. I'm sorry, I'm not taking you. I grew up with Oldie, so Oldie is my choice, but with a second to Colt 45 because, as Billy D says, works every time.
Damn, he quoted Lando Calrissian. I love it.
Colt 40.
All right. Yeah. I can't hate. All right, so I'm gonna go.
But I grew up on Oldie. Yeah, Oldie.
What was your? So your OE was your pick.
OE was my pick. Yeah.
All right. I was gonna co-sign with you, King Cobra at the end, but it's no good. Those are like the beers that came out and they were like watered down, so they might have been like, I don't know, 35 cents cheaper for a 40 or something. So you thought you were getting a value, but in sense it was just watered down bullshit. I have seen and been to many a party where people were drinking Mickey's and it never ended up good for anybody. Nope. So I'm gonna stay away from that. I would never pick that. And I'm gonna kind of be in the ballpark with Dustin. I'm gonna be in between the Old English and the Colt 45. Both of them, when cold, are not bad tasting. And and if it's me and we splitting it, I guess we getting the OD, so we at least get a buck. so there you go, OD.
And we're gonna chug it too.
See, who was that just said Mickey's? You know they a partier. You better. They gonna be wrapped in your shower curtain, peeing on the lawn. You better stop hang out with them. God,
Whit Harden said it. Mickey's.
See, look, there you go. There it is.
And then you know what?
God bless you. Whit. God bless you, Whit. May the luck of the Irish be with you. Yeah. Right.
I hope you make your bail in the morning.
Right. We're starting a small GoFundMe for your bail right now. We're just gonna have it on hand in case you decide to get thirsty. There's that. All right.
I think this one is the most accurate reaction.
Yes. Oh, good gravy. All right. Well, you've had opportunities to be a lot of places today, but instead of being there, you chose to be here with us. And that's why we thank you. We hope we put a smile on your face and gave you something to think about, maybe to chew on after the episode, maybe to share with some friends. We learned a couple wonderful things. You can't be named Santa Claus or Jesus Christ. You probably shouldn't drink Mickey's beer unless you have bail put aside. And Astronomicon 5 is the place where pop culture lives. So have a great motherfunking day. And we'll see you next time right here on our GDAM Pod.